Well, Most Buffalo continues now, and a powerful and very personal exhibit. This is opening in Lockport, inviting the community to learn more about local Vietnam War history. I was there. Unknown Stories of Vietnam. That's the exhibit, opening with a free reception this coming Sunday at the Kenan Center Gallery. The display including photos, mementos, and first-hand accounts. This is very important, told in the veterans' own words. And joining us now in the studio, the exhibit curators, and I'm joined by Mary Brennan Taylor and also Ellen Martin. So welcome to both of you to explain what this is all about. And as I said, this is, and we got the 250th anniversary of this country, and this was a very difficult time in our country's history. So it's great that you're presenting this opportunity for people to understand it better. So tell me a little bit now. I don't know if one covered one type of area and one covers the other type of exhibit. I'll start with you if I could. Just what are you trying to present here with these soldiers, you know, whoever they were, veterans talking in their own words?
Right. So Ron, last year, as we know, was the 50th anniversary of the end of the war, right? And this is a long overdue thank you, and a long overdue welcome home to these veterans. And we've been working with the local chapter 268 of the Vietnam Veterans Group to get their stories, to get their mementos, to make sure that they know how much they were appreciated. So this is a very extensive exhibit. It's very immersive. It's going to go from now until September 20th. And I mean, to our knowledge, there's never been anything done quite like this that wasn't initiated by a veterans organization or, you know, by,
right.
So this is something that is a tribute to them.
Very important.
Yeah, it is.
Living history.
It is.
And when you bring them forward, I mean, are they pretty open to talking? Because this has to be difficult. They learned through difficult times.
And Mary has been doing most of the talking
to
the veterans, but the common theme was that they felt that they were not welcomed home when they came back, and so that's been the dominant theme, and that became our theme as well.
So many of the veterans would like to share their stories and have been willing to share their stories, and there have been also several who have had family members contact us and say, I can't quite bring myself to talk about it, but I would be willing to lend my memorabilia. So we have many things, Ron, from over 20 of the local vets in the upstairs room. This takes over the entire gallery, 9 rooms devoted to the POWs, the Operation Homecoming, the roles that women played, including nurses and photojournalists.
Very important.
That are misunderstood or forgotten.
Correct.
Really a tribute that Ellen put together for the living room war, which is what this was.
And again, like, this was the first war that really came to us in our living rooms, and so we put together a living room with the TV going and showing the news reports, and also sitcoms and commercials and whatnot.
The period, the times.
Right, to evoke the period of the time where you were, you know, just watching TV, but seeing a horror show in many ways with, you know, with body counts and.
I remember that.
Of course, exactly, and so it brought the war right to us, and how that affected us. So it's not only the people that served. It's also their families and just Americans in general, and how we received the news. And
some people may think the word living history is overdone, but that's exactly what this is, hearing in their own words, their experiences. Because younger people, they can't understand what was like in the 60s and 70s with the Vietnam. I mean, we hear Iran now, you know, with what's going on there, but Vietnam, how unique.
This gives these veterans an opportunity to have a dialogue with their own family members, maybe for the first time, for some, to bring their children and their grandchildren to the exhibit, to show them what they went through.
I like that. That's very important.
An exciting thing that we have coming toward the end of the exhibit in, well, no, I guess in August, at the end of August, we have the moving wall coming to the Kenan. And so it's a half-size Vietnam wall. And so we would like to invite everybody to come see that. That's going to be outside the house, of course, and then you can still come and see the exhibit inside the house. Plus, we have a ton of programming. Mary's been working on so much of the programming, and it's really interesting between the roundtables with the nurses.
All over the country, they're coming,
coming
to these
into
nurses
this, yes.
from Florida and New York City, and to share their stories. They were evac hospital nurses.
That's remarkable.
It really is. It's really historic, Ron. It
Yeah,
really is
China
historic.
Beach. I remember the TV show China Beach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was based on a book by Linda Van Deventer, and her closest friend is our keynote speaker.
Yeah.
So this is
Perfect.
going to be very historic.
Tell us again, the date, location here.
So July 5th, this coming Sunday, from 2 to 4 is the opening, and then we're there until September 20th. So we would really encourage people to come.
All right. Well, ladies, we thank you. Obviously, this is very important. As I said, my brother was a Vietnam era veteran.
Yep.
Did not actually go to Vietnam. I've never served, but I know how important it is to get this message across to people. So thank you for
Thank
what
you.
your efforts to bring this to
It's our
people.
pleasure.